Here we are, back with another Q&A with Dr. J. Dunn from My Happy Genes. We hope you're enjoying these, by the way. And if you have a question, please send them to info@myhappygenes. We want to hear from you and answer the questions that are really on your mind about genes and getting your genes tested and that kind of stuff. And today, I'm not even sure what all this means, but I'm going to tell you what we're talking about. GAD genes, glutamate, and excitotoxins. I love the word excitotoxins. I think I know what these things mean, but I'm going to let Jay explain them.
Yeah, it's a fun word, but it's not a fun thing.
Damn.
The GAD gene, they're primarily responsible for producing the enzyme that converts glutamate to GABA. And GABA is our calming neurotransmitter. And glutamate happens to be something called an excitotoxin. Excitotoxins are toxins in the brain that can cause the neurons to fire up rapidly, and then a lot of times it can cause them to explode, which is not good. It kills them. GAD variants can lead to things like neurological disorders, including developmental and epileptic encephalopathy, and something called stiff person syndrome or stiff man syndrome. I had a patient come in one time and he said, I have stiff man syndrome. And I was like, what? I didn't know what it was. So I was like, I'll be right back. Looked it up and I was like, oh, that's a thing. That is a real thing. Basically, all the joints get very stiff and immobile. And when they're turning, they're going to turn their whole body instead of their head. But it can be from this GAD variant and too much glutamate in the system. The other excitotoxins are aspartame and sucralose might be considered an excitotoxin. I'm not sure about that, but aspartame is an excitotoxin and has been known to cause neurological damage. The autoimmune diseases here too, antibodies that are produced when you have that GAD variant are associated with some neurological conditions, but also damage to the pancreas. It can lead to diabetes type 2 and depression, early waking. If glutamate is high in the system, it can cause you to wake up too early and cause a tiredness, but also anxiety because you're not able to produce GABA. Again, GABA being our most calming neurotransmitter. So this enzyme can be quite a dangerous one to have. And if you have it, avoiding monosodium glutamate is a very good idea because you won't be able to break it down efficiently like some other people would that don't have that genetic variant. So it's something to look for in your genetic profile and get it balanced. So one of the things that balances it is selenium. It helps convert glutamate into GABA. So if I see people taking GABA and it's, why are you doing that? Let's get your body making it. And that's my prejudice about this. We talked about it with creatine. Why are you taking creatine? Let's get your body making creatine, body making GABA. Get your body or your brain, your gut and your brain making serotonin and dopamine. Don't take an SSRI unless you absolutely have to, and it's a dire situation. But we want to upregulate your body's ability to make those things. And so that's the difference when we look at these genetic variants. That's inhibiting a pathway that could allow your body to normalize. And so when we upregulate it with specific nutrient, it'll balance out that genetic variant.
And are there symptoms of too much glutamate in this? Let's say somebody doesn't even eat, mostly it's Chinese food that I think of MSG in, maybe it's in other things, but what are the symptoms that somebody should be aware of?
Yeah, so with a GAD variant, they're going to have, I see most often anxiety with it, and then easy headaches when they eat anything with monosodium glutamate in it, or they can also have some numbness and tingling, especially in the extremities, and inability to sleep. So they may be lying awake going, what did I eat today? Oh, I had Chinese food or I had something with monosodium glutamate in it. The other thing that's interesting, this is according to the National Institute of Health, it can be associated with heroin addiction
Hmm.
phenotypes. Again, it's just one gene that can add to an addictive tendency there.
Right.
So it's a troublemaker. Definitely want to keep your eye on whether or not you have that. A lot of people are using aspartame and don't realize that it can be a very dangerous thing for some people, and especially if you have this genetic variant. I would avoid it anyway, but especially if you have a genetic variant in the GAD gene.
Aspartame being the non-nutritive sweetener. And I
Yeah.
wonder if, what was the one that when we were kids, it came in a pink packet? The
Sweet and low or
Sweet and Low. It's still around. I just wonder if that also, saccharin was the really
saccharin.
old, like my great aunt used saccharin in her
Uh,
instant coffee.
I think, yeah. Is that still around?
I don't know. I'm
I
just
thought
wondering
they, I
if
thought
they're
they,
all from one, and now we have all these variations, or whether aspartame and that whole class is a new formulation of things we didn't use in the past.
yeah, I think so. I thought they outlawed saccharin. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure
know. I
about.
thought one of them got taken out of the market,
Yeah,
but
but I see sucralose still
mm,
around.
yeah,
It's got its own set of not good symptoms. And for me, at least genetically, I'm sensitive to, and I'm not really sure what the gene is, but I'm sensitive to stevia as well.
me too. Gives me a
Are
headache.
you? Yeah, me too.
I don't
I'll
know
have to
why. I
figure out what
mean,
that gene is. I'm
I
not
was
sure.
excited. I was like, I can use stevia in my coffee or my whatever.
Yeah.
And I can always tell if I don't read a label really carefully, and like, let's just say I bought a power bar or something because I'm at the airport and I eat it and I'm like, oh, there it is. Forgot to
You can
look.
taste it like
Oh,
right
you
away.
can definitely taste it. Yeah.
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 I think sugar is better,
I do too. I'm all for sugar.
Yeah.
Coconut sugar. I like I just don't have a rule, right, about this stuff. Have whatever you want, but don't hurt yourself in the process. And if chemicals are hurting you, then don't use the chemicals.
Right. Good point. If it hurts, don't do it.
Stop it. Okay, everybody. This has been your Q&A on excitotoxins. I still love the word, although now I understand and do not want any of these things in my body because I don't
Oh,
want to
won't
kill
you?
off brain cells or whatever it was
No,
filling
not
up.
a good idea.
I did a lot of that in the 80s, and I need all the ones I still have right now. Not kidding.
Exploding neurons. Not good.
Probably did that too. Yeah. All right, peeps, we'll be back with another Q&A next week. Till then, be well.